A nice warm day, Tuesday in Kewarra Beach. No dogs barking. Unusual. Just got a bit of mowing done. It was the pissiest mowing exercise I've had because it's so dry around here that the grass just isn't growing, which is good. Unless little patches like that are being watered, and I've got a few patches that are getting excess water from the plants I'm watering. So I had to trim that down, but it didn't take much time, and I've got more petrol than I thought I had, so I won't have to go to the service station to top it up for a while. Got some bad news regarding my shares, this ongoing saga with the MRMs shares, the offshore shares. I've discovered that the company, what they'd done is they decided to devalue everyone's shares by tenfold. So basically I used to have 4,500 shares, and they cut that down to 450 shares. They called it consolidation. I call it just highway robbery. And instead of being worth about $1,500, I ended up getting an amount of $157 credited to my account when they were sold. So I mean, there's some really dodgy things that can happen in the stock market, and that's the sort of classic sort of crap that can occur with, say, mining stocks. Because the person who put me on to investing, he used to invest in mining stocks, and he's burned his fingers with them a few times, and this sounds very similar to that. I just think it's outrageous. I don't know how they can possibly justify that. I presume they did that so they can raise capital elsewhere, so it dilutes your shares to that degree. I think that's probably the rationale behind it. So it's a way of the company getting hold of more loot off the unsuspecting investors and basically destroying their investment in the process. And this has happened with another company that I've invested in as well. It's not the norm, thank God, but you really have to be aware of it, and it shouldn't be allowed. I think we should be protected from these sharks, but anyway, that's what happened. I'm just heading down to the beach. Hopefully there'll be a bit of a breeze there. Got some workmen down there, don't know, that's my neighbour's street. And one of these days I should check out the front of her house. I get to see the rear of her house thanks to seeing the fact that she's got rid of all the foliage. So I'll just get over this so it's a bit more shaded, and then I'll head down to the beach. And like I say, hopefully there's a nice breeze there. I can already feel a bit of a breeze, so we are getting closer. It doesn't take long to get there, and just need to get out of the house. It is getting quite hot, and even with the insulation, it's I think it's going to be a long hot summer. And unfortunately, I think the options of getting overseas to get away from a bit of it just aren't going to be there this year. Maybe next year, but not this year. I can't see it happening until around April, May next year that overseas travel will open up as an option like it used to. And even then, there might be a lot more regulations, tests to be done. I mean, God knows how long they're going to keep doing these COVID tests. I mean, you would hope eventually that drops off as well, but Thailand's making it particularly difficult for people to travel there, and I've read a few posts from people that are in the same boat as me that decide it's just too hard, it's not worth the hassle. You have to be really determined to go there to jump through all the hoops they've got at the moment. So I think they're going to find that their projections of tourism numbers are going to be way above what's actually the reality. So that's just my opinion anyway. But then there is a pent-up demand to go overseas. But there are easier places in Thailand to travel to. One of the people that posted this, they said that they're going to go to Costa Rica. Apparently that's easier. And if you're in America, of course, it's much closer as well. So there's probably quite a few Central American options, plus Mexico might be easy, I don't know. Certainly fairly cheap. I haven't been to the real Mexico, I've only been to Tijuana, it hardly counts. So I'd like to do that some stage. I did plan a holiday there, but I pulled out of it because I loved Vietnam so much. I cancelled the holiday to the US and Mexico when the Aussie dollar was at least on parity with the American dollar, if not still slightly higher. Would have been the perfect time to do it, but yeah, that's the old bar scene in Saigon was the swaying influence, really. I just thought I'd have more fun there, so decided to go with that option. That's typical, pretty quiet here today as usual. Now will I go, oh maybe I'll go right down the whole length. I might go this direction instead. I've got the sort of equidistant, the little laneways into the beach. I might as well walk the whole length. Why not? Oh yeah, they're doing some major but what? I always get that word. What is it? Just say tree loppers. It's easier. Arborists. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the arborists are out in force. There's the old bus. Whew. I'll be back on that on Thursday. Got to go and get the old jab on the 21st. That's another thing that concerned me. I looked up the university centre for having the vaccines, and they said that they were a Pfizer only centre, and that's weird because I knew I had AstraZeneca, and that's what I need to have as a boost. So yeah, a bit worried there. They may just have the Pfizer, which won't do me that so good. Oh boy, I'm stiff. I just was walking down this path. Now I wanted to go sit on a particular park bench, and I kid you not, this girl came down the pathway to the left, and she made a beeline for it, and she got there about 20 seconds before I got there. Jesus. What about stiff? Timing's everything in this world. Not that I'm in any rush. I can always go down to the barbecue area, I suppose. The trouble is there's probably kids there. It'll be noisy. Yeah, I can hear them already. Oh, there's another spot I can go to anyway. It's not as quiet as the other one, but it's all right. I couldn't believe it. She walked straight up to it just before I got there. Oh dear. Well, this one's vacant, so that's good. Oh, the breeze is fantastic. Yeah, don't normally sit in this one. Oh, go this a little more shaded. Oh, not that it matters that much. Slightly different position to what I usually stay at. Ah, very nice though. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard, but Kamala Harris tried another wonderful PR exercise. The woman's a disaster area when it comes to public relations. She has some position in some space committee or whatever. So she decided to have an informal chat with a group, I think about 5 or 6 kids, about the wonders of space exploration and what a fantastic era we're living in, and how it's all so gee whiz fantastic. But then it came out that the kids that she was having this informal chat with were all paid actors. They're all gone through casting agents, and the funny thing is Kamala Harris's minders didn't even try to stop this being divulged. There's no attempt to basically deny any of this. So I guess that in her weird world, she regards this as being fairly normal, and this is her idea of authenticity. Because that's what one of the kids apparently said. They asked him, interviewed him on local TV, and he said that she's really authentic. his powers of perception need a bit of honing, but he is only a kid. So, yeah, quite extraordinary, weird world. I mean, it's bizarre enough in Canberra, but boy, it's on training wheels compared to Washington. That's Washington DC is just, boy, what a place America is. It's a land of contrasts and extremes. But they obviously think that it's okay to do something like that. That it doesn't matter what. It's not going to have any ramifications as far as her popularity is concerned. Well, probably doesn't in her case because she's so unpopular anyway. But that's one way of handling it. If you're that unpopular, you just can't go downhill any further. So she's actually impervious there. And I think she will be the president at some stage. I mean, you can't see Biden lasting the distance. You're lucky to last a year or so. So that'll really sink it for the Democrats because she's potentially a lot less popular than someone like Hillary Clinton. The nearest to see what would have happened to America if Hillary Clinton had been elected, my God. And what would have happened to the Democrats? I think it would have been a huge backlash. Yeah, well, they've got their man in now, and they're going to pay a huge price for it because Biden is as popular as a 2-week-old or maybe 2-month-old yogurt that hasn't been put in the fridge. It's quite a warmish day. It's going to be around 31 degrees today, and that's fairly consistent. I don't know what summer's going to be like, but boy, it could be a really hot, stinking hot one. But then again, it's weather. It could be the opposite. Switch. Okay, it doesn't do that. That's the second flower that's come up on this on the Panama berry, so that's good to see. So there's now 2 flowers on this plant, so I guess that's an indication that it will bear some berries fairly soon. Where's the other one was on this side. I can't find it now. Oh, maybe I've got added one and lost one. I thought there was a flower there. Okay. Oh, the mystery of the missing flower. Well, there's definitely one over there, but gee, what, they only last for a day, do they? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have an attempt at putting in a tomato stake into the ground to actually support the tree that I have over there, which is just sort of looks more like a bush now rather than a tree. It just doesn't seem to want to grow high. I'm going to have to basically train it to grow high. All those branches there were going right up, but now it's sort of slumping to the side. So I'm going to grab one of my hardwood stakes that I bought at Bunnings, and I'll hammer it into the ground. And I'm not great at this sort of crap, but we'll give it a go anyway, and hopefully it works out all right. Well, that went much easier than I thought it would. Now all I need to do is to grab one of these ties that I've got in the other plants. Hopefully this one will come undone fairly easily off this palm here, and I'll secure the upper branches of that tree so that it actually grows in a vertical orientation rather than sort of on the horizontal orientation. So yeah, it went in very easily actually. There's the stake there. So now I've just got to basically tie that bit up there, just give it a bit more support, and hopefully it'll continually going up, growing in a vertical fashion rather than a horizontal fashion. It was very easy to tie up, and now as you can see It looks fairly fairly good. It's facing the in a northerly direction. Hopefully it'll take the hint, and that'll be it. I also doused it with a bit of pyrethrum spray. There's a bit of few insects are having a go there. These are my snow peas that hopefully will grow big enough to get up onto this trellis. So they're looking pretty healthy. We'll see how we go. But the one that's actually in the pot has gone to seed, so I might just sort of harvest the seeds for next year and see how we go. But that's basically it. So I'm glad I got that done. It was very easy to do. So if I put some tomatoes in the ground, it'll be very easy to stake them. So that's good to know. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.